crazy when you got so many windows, so many screens to you know what I mean, manage.
No, I'm watching. I'm over here watching you maneuver it.
All right, here go the intro, fellas.
Welcome all to Let's Get It, where we attack today's local and national hottest sports topics. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, and let's get after it.
Good morning, Let's Get It fans, and welcome to a phenomenal show here on a rainy Sunday morning. Back at you after a couple-week hiatus for the summertime. Once again, as usual, I'm with Coach Marcus Bullock and Jason Bryce. Coming to you guys, a lot on the docket, a lot to talk about. Going to get into the Phillies, going to get into the Sixers, going to get into the Eagles and some other things. A little bit, I want to bring up the Little League World Series, which is one of my favorite times of the year also. But as usual, before we get into everything this morning, I want to check in with my co-host. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm doing okay. It's been a rough last week. My father actually passed away on last Saturday. I'm out in Wexford, Pennsylvania, with my mom and my sister, just kind of going through all that stuff that entails. But try to make it more of a celebration of everything he was about and all that stuff. So, we're getting through it and just something that you can never prepare for. So, but we're fighting through it and gonna come out on the other side. So that's where we're at.
Wow, Coach, my condolences to you and your family.
Absolutely.
Not that it's ever easy, and was this unexpected, expected?
Completely unexpected. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Unexpected.
All right. So, well, I like the way you did word it, though. That it's a celebration of life, and looking at the positivities and everything, and
for sure,
the opportunity that he had to, experience with you and experiences you had with him. But it's never easy. And once again, my condolences.
I appreciate it.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, same here, Coach.
We're happy to, have you here doing on the show, and sometimes it's a little bit good to have a little bit of a distraction.
Absolutely.
So,
yep, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but Jay, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Once again, I spoke to you earlier, but this week, but definitely, my condolences to you and the family, though. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
But other than that, the week's been okay. Just, always reflective, especially, and things like that make you reflect on things or whatever. But it's been a decent week. Nervous about this. I mean, is the hurricane coming? This
was what it was. I mean, actually, where you're, back in hometown, Jay, in Long Island, that's where they were actually on the lookout.
Yeah, I know, because I was in Long Island Friday, and I saw the sign saying hurricanes Sunday night into Monday. I said, let me get the hell up out of here. You know what I mean? But yeah, so it's actually supposed to hit Long Island.
Yeah.
So definitely, shout out to everybody out there, from where I'm from, and just making sure you guys brace for that. My faith in God is strong. So I feel like we've been tested with Sandy. Sandy hit Long Island terribly hard.
Yeah.
Terribly hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I think my people was without electric and stuff for like two weeks. They were displaced and stuff like that. So I had friends that actually lose houses, you know what I mean? And then, so, it's just those type of things you just can't, you just can't avoid those sometimes. So, definitely, please be prepared though. But other than that though, I'm doing well though, bro.
Good. And it's wild. Like I'm a weather guy. I've always loved the weather, and it's wild because if you look at it, people talk about the climate change, things like that. And, you're just seeing so much more wild, weather events, not just in here in the United States, but across the globe. I mean, tsunamis and everything. And it's really scary. You take a look out there and you look, and it's just things are changing. And you just hope that, it's a temporary thing, but it is scary out there. So,
well, what I'm saying? Like, I definitely don't play with weather. I'm more attentive to weather than I've ever been. In fact, I was in Florida and I checked the weather and I saw that there was a possibility that I would have been flying through some thunderstorms. I changed the ticket. I don't play with weather.
Well, it's funny because when we were coming back from Myrtle Beach just last week, it was the potential for storms. Yeah, and it was like you said, they were like, don't worry, the pilot will just get up and over the storm. And I was like, wait a minute. I understand, but
yeah, see, a friend that we have in common, Randy. She had was on a plane, and because of the storms coming at that time, they had to land in like a little airfield or somewhere strange and couldn't disembark, and sat on that runway for like 2 hours while they refueled, and they wouldn't serve no snacks.
Forget the snacks. You're gonna need something stronger than a snack.
They wouldn't serve no liquor, no nothing. And then all of a sudden, the captain says, "Yeah, listen, we're gonna try to, get through and find a little pocket to get through. We're gonna try this." And in my mind, I'm like, did this motherfucker say try? Like try?
You can't say try
on the fucking plane, man. You gotta know or you don't know, man.
You gotta go back to the old Yoda saying, there was no try, there was only do.
There was only do. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I like I said, we're gonna stick this plane through this little pocket of weather, that can change any moment. But
so thank God that everything worked out well. But still, like I don't play with weather, and you know what? Sometimes I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong. They've been talking about climate change forever.
Yes,
I feel like when we were babies, they were talking about the climate change. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it should always changing. Shit, you know what I'm saying?
It's always changing.
It's always changing, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then always.
Have you guys ever been on a flight where at the end of the flight they like everybody like applauds the pilot?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like that. Like, why is he putting us in this situation?
Right. That is true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I don't need to get there that quick. Like, you're absolutely right. And matter of fact, I think on that plane, no. On that one come back from Florida, I don't think we applauded the plane.
I don't applaud. I do not applaud.
You don't?
No.
And you're not grateful.
Well, I am, but to me, it's like I get it, and I appreciate what you did.
Randy's like, this is your job. This is your fucking job.
I mean,
but like, think about it. There's not too many jobs in the world that you can't have a bad day, but that's one of them. You can't have
a bad
mistake. It is what it is, but you can't redo the landing. So
I mean, and I think that airplane. Which one is worse though? This is a good versus airplane pilot versus doctor.
Ooh,
because both of them can't have bad days, bro.
I'd say airplane pilot.
Sure.
But which one immediately can? One, because a doctor could have a bad day and possibly correct it, maybe.
But also, if a doctor is probably only taking out one person, a pilot's going to take out 300-400.
Yeah, that's true. And that's on a grander scale. It's got to go pilot.
So is that the hardest job or the toughest job with the most responsibility in the world?
No, I still think a doctor's worse because think about it, you got autopilot, you got all the different systems in place to kind of keep you from messing up. Whereas the doctor, man, you're dealing with millimeters wrong, you can kill somebody.
Especially like the surgeons. Okay. The surgeons that are in there, you can't be in there like, oh, but I was a little off today on this open heart surgery. It's not going to work.
You know the strangest thing, the craziest thing I've ever seen, and it really brought home early in my career. I think I was 30. Early in my career, I used to counsel middle school children in Baltimore City. And my one dude, Q, I'll just call him Q, right? He was like in 7th grade with a knot like this, hustling. His most consistent clients were the doctors and the surgeons at Johns Hopkins Hospital.
Ooh, it doesn't surprise me.
So that kind of brings a little humanness to say, hey, listen, you know what? They have the hardest job, like you're right, millimeters, whatever, but they're still humans. You know what I'm saying? Right. And they could still be flawed, yo. So it was like, damn, like, yo, there's a possibility. That's why you gotta pray, because there's a possibility you could have your doctor, you know what I'm saying, be like high as shit.
Yeah.
Like my man, yo, Denzel Washington made this movie. And he was drunk as shit, high on coke, and he avoided a crash on a plane.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, and they wanted to still charge him.
They still charged him.
What was the name of that movie? Oh,
you know what I'm saying? But he was alcoholic, still flying the plane, man. So, definitely, shout out to those pilots, to those doctors, man. Like, whew, it's scary, boy. It's scary. You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, listen, at the end of the day, you know what? It was
called Flight.
Flight. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So, but hey, listen, you know what? Hey, listen, shout out to all the pilots out there, because, and you're right. One mistake, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, yo. I can't even front. One mistake is not.
I mean, and you're right. And you're sitting there too, and like you got your pilot, your surgeon. They could be dealing with some own personal things,
right.
And all of a sudden, So to be able to focus in and block it out, that is incredible.
Yeah,
that is absolutely incredible. Well, I'll tell you one thing though. I wish that the Phillies could block out the most recent struggles after an 8-game win streak, which had us all over the place, up in first place.
I didn't have me all over the place.
Well, I know it didn't have you, but
You know what I'm saying? Well, because and I'm going to tell you why. And that's the problem. I promise you, there's a thing in Marcus, I don't know if you know this, in psychology, there's a thing, they call it the DSM. They had a 4, 5, 6. I think they're on 5. I think they're on 6 now, or whatever. But it's basically an encyclopedia or a dictionary of all the disorders of mental health disorders. Okay, and
I don't know where he's going with this.
And when you're having a disorder or a problem, you give them a classification out of this Bible dictionary. Okay,
how do you not know where he's going with this? I know where he's going with this.
It needs to be a classification for the Philly fan, because I don't understand. 8-game win streak. I mean, everybody's all crazy, but you got to know. See, championship mentality or teams know there's ebbs and flows.
No, you're
there's
right.
Ebbs and flows. It
was too good to be true. Like, and that's the thing though. That 8-game win streak.
I mean, the sweep on the Mets. I mean, everybody was like, "Woo! Wow!
That took them in the first place." But it's funny because
without their main dude, like they're down. No DeGrom.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they was balling, but
for a short time.
Even yourself, you said, "Oh my God, the park is back the way it used to be." You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, though. But that's the thing, though. As a diehard,
one little moment brought the park back the way it used to be.
It did. And that's the thing, though. That's the thing about it. And you're right about Philadelphia fans, especially when it comes to. It's funny. The Phillies, I think the team that gets a pass in the city is the Eagles. They get a pass. The fans always come out for the Eagles regardless. True. And the Flyers. I
think the Flyers get the biggest pass.
Flyers fans are the most loyal, probably even more than the Eagles fans, actually, because Flyers fans just keep coming out regardless. And
they don't care. They don't care what the team does. Like they could care less if they keep players, get rid of players. They don't care. They always make excuses for the staff.
They do. It's unbelievable. But it's sad because, and you said the ebbs and flows, because they had that win streak, But the thing was, I knew that it was kind of, a mirage at the same time, because I knew they were going to come back down to earth. But they just crashed back down to earth. The Braves have taken over and are going to win the division. Braves are 5 games up now in the division.
Wait, over the Mets, or they're in the Southeast or something like that. They're not in the NL East, are they?
Yeah.
Wait, so just that? Damn. Wait, in that quick of a time.
The Braves have gone.
I mean, damn. It just seemed like
the Braves have won 9 out of 10 or something.
9 out of 10, and like 13 out of the last 15. They're on fire. And
damn.
And the thing is, because
it was just yesterday.
Just yesterday, Jay. I mean, just yesterday. I know you had
It was just yesterday.
I know you had your Philly shirt out. You were ready to go.
Yo, listen, man. I'm just watching you. I was just watching your post. I said, "Oh, he's happy."
I mean, look. In fairness, like you said, when I will rag on them when we're struggling. I will post a negative. I will post when Bryce and JT and all them are struggling.
But you know what it is? It's temp. And I'm just being honest with you, because I'm the same way when it comes to the Sixers. It's temperamental, though. No, it really is though. Because look about it. Think about it. I seen you post and celebrate Aaron Nola. Big game. What a big game. I mean, wait, 8 innings?
Well,
8 innings had 12 whatever the case may be. Then he had a short outing.
Yeah, he's been very inconsistent this year.
Right.
He has been. I mean, the thing that's so frustrating about him is like last night he was amazing. I mean, yeah, the thing that sucks is he was one out away from a phenomenal game and gave up the game tying homer, but his defense let him down. The offense still struggled. But I mean, Noah last night was amazing. He was Cy Young Noah. So, but the thing is, it's been inconsistent.
Cy Young, he won a Cy Young?
Saying he was.
Oh, okay.
He finished top 3 in 2018.
Oh, okay.
So he was Cy Young caliber.
Close to Cy Young.
Cy Young caliber.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's when you look at the team this year, and you know what they are, but you look at the faults have been the defense, has been the bullpen, and the other thing too is, and it's still not getting enough attention, the inconsistent offense. And I mean, even last night, people want to talk about, they gave up the 2-run homer, but they struck out 14 times and they left 9 runners on base. The defense let them down too, but you can't be winning games when you're striking out 12, 13, 14 times a game. You need to drive in runs.
Yeah, I mean, I think every team has a moment in flashes. Like even them sucky Sixers back in the day, they had like moments where they won like 3 in a row or something like that. So yeah, I kind of liken it to what's going on with the Phillies right now. You know what I'm saying? You had a hot streak.
We did.
But you're back down to earth. I know you said they crashed and burned. No, they didn't crash and burn. It's called return to sender. They get right back to where they were.
No, you're right. And this is kind of exactly.
But how didn't you know that though, as a fan? And how didn't you know that?
Because you try to look. I mean, I am the kind of guy. I mean, as my individual fan, I'll tell you that if we're 7 games out with 8 games left, we still have a chance.
Got you.
So I'm that sick in the head, but this is what this team is. When it comes, and the Braves were always the best team in the division. I feel regardless, and they have taken back over. Because the Braves are young. They play smart decisions. Like even at the trade deadline, they picked up good players. Like they are young. Then they're missing their best player. They're missing Acuna, who's like an MVP of the league. And that's what it is. It's just frustrating because the Phillies still are behind the Braves. And the problem too with the Phillies is that if you look at, however this season pans out, probably somewhere where they finish somewhere between 3 and 5 games out of a playoff spot, that's just kind of how it's going to balance out. You're going to look at next season and you're going to say that they have a lot to fix. They got to fix their defense. They got to work on the offense a little bit more, So, but you have a lot of players on big contracts. You got older guys on big contracts. And that's a big problem right there. So you have a lot of money wrapped up in a few players. I know where you're going to go with this, Jay.
No, I'm not going anywhere because I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about the Phillies.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody was talking that shit when they was winning, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody's saying
winning fixes everything. I mean, winning fixes
everything. When they were winning, who stepped up out of who really stepped up when they were winning?
I thought Bryce did.
No, Bryce. Yeah, I mean Bryce really did step up. I mean, they were getting contributions all over the place. I mean, Brad Miller had a 3 home run game. I mean, they were getting contributions. They were getting guys like Matt Moore, who has been terrible, gave you a 6-inning no-hit performance. Like, I mean, they were getting contributions from.
But Bryce was the one that led the charge.
Bryce did lead the charge,
and as the one that's paid the most, he should. Now, who was second in command leading that charge?
During that time, actually, it's said Reese Hoskins was.
Was he the second highest paid Philly?
No.
Where was the second highest paid?
It's actually,
Philly?
You know what? And I'm going to say it's interesting. People want to talk about JT and how he's the best catcher in baseball, and he is very good. But he has.
I know you're not shifting.
No, I'm still a big fan, but he has not been producing recently.
There it is.
He has not. He is.
There it is.
Well, listen, I'm going to call him out. I mean, I still think he's very good, but I'm going to tell you, he has not been producing at the level that he's getting paid right now this season. This season, he is 14th in the league on base and slugging percentage, So I mean, he's not offensively.
14th,
He is
14th in the league or 14th as a catcher.
catcher. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So which is terrible. I mean, you're telling me he's a middle of the road catcher offensively when you're paying him for defense too, but he has not delivered the way that a catcher making $25 million should this year.
Well, how does, I guess, and I'm not going to go too much because you're saying it all, and I don't even need to like poke at it no more. Because now you're coming around. You know, revelation is wonderful.
Well, I'm not coming around.
No, you're coming around.
Listen, the one thing is...
That's how it works, though. It's just a little seed.
Well, one thing is I will always tell it how it is. If a guy's succeeding, I'll give it to him. If he's struggling, I'm going to call him out. Like even at one point, Bryce was struggling. I mean, listen, in their after they won their 8 games in a row, after that, Bryce was like 3 for his last 28 at one point. Mm-hmm. And baseball is an up and down stretch. I mean, you're not going to always hit 500. But I mean, I still will say, Bryce Harper's been struggling over the last 3 or 4 games. Even the last time out, Zach Wheeler, the big ace, didn't really deliver. I mean, he didn't deliver an ace performance. So I mean, when guys struggle,
you call him the big ace.
He is the ace,
right? You call him the big ace.
Everyone calls him the ace.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, my only point and I'm going to make is this: what should it look like for a catcher that's making $25 million a year? What does that look like? What should he be doing? And that's only to your point, because you talked about he's not producing like a player that's making $25 million as a catcher. So what should he be doing as a catcher, but catching the damn ball?
Well, like I said, I think the thing is with JT, you pay him for the all-around game. It wasn't just and his offensive game has been struggling this year. He hasn't actually been throwing runners out to the same consistency that he was before.
He ain't been doing shit.
So, I mean, he's been struggling. And the thing is, though, like, and this team is what it is. And
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you what it is, and I'll be the first one to tell you. There's different times I'm lazy, and I can tell you like, yo, I'm lazy. I'm lazy here, and I'm telling you what one of my points of being lazy is that I'm lazy to research all the other catches in the league and compare them to JT's ass and try to figure out why you giving him $25 million versus these other catches who are comparable to him but making way less.
No, you're right. And
you also have to look at the past though. You can't go on this year because he didn't get paid because this year he got paid because of what he did.
Yeah, I mean, he was
okay. I just think that strengthens my argument. To be honest, if I go back,
I think before this year, I think he was having crazy numbers.
He was having monster years compared,
like almost 400, 40 home runs, 130 RBIs. You talking about? That's 25 million.
He's not Babe Ruth.
Well, I'm saying.
Like I said, he was hitting. He was hitting 20 homers, driving in 100 runs, hitting 30 doubles, hitting 10 triples.
Right.
But he was also throwing people out at like a 20% higher rate than other catchers. Like he's
okay. But a lot of that has to do with the pitching staff. I don't know if you guys agree. You should agree to that. It has to do with the pitching staff and the pitcher's delivery as well. You know what I'm saying? Because if their delivery is not so hunky, jerky, or whatever, then the ball gets there quicker, and then he's able to respond. You know what I'm saying, to second or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just interested in comparing those numbers.
No, you're right.
To see some of those.
Actually something I want to do myself. And like when I read that, there's a guy I follow, Joe Giglio. He's from 94.1. A lot of people don't like him because he just tells it like it is. Mm-hmm. But I do. That's actually one of the reasons why I enjoy listening to him as radio. And that's kind of like Missinelli too, Mike Missinelli. He, people, but the thing is, if you don't agree with him, he'll kick you off the show.
Right.
But, it happened to me one time. Anyway, but because he didn't agree with what I said about who should be the starting center fielder at the time in the season. But
okay, who do you think it should be?
Well, I was saying it should be Odubel Herrera, and I was just going based on baseball principle only.
Oh, but never mind what he been doing out here.
I wasn't talking about. I was
in the real world.
I was talking about if you're talking about a baseball only. I was, if he's going to be allowed to play and he's eligible, fine. That's not my jurisdiction to say if he's not. And Mike Bissinelli basically was like, "No, you're not eligible. I don't agree with you." And he didn't even give me a team at the time. They were doing the March Madness tournament.
That's why you're really upset.
That could have been this guy could have gotten Baylor. Who knows?
Okay.
That's why you're really upset.
I was so mad because I got through and I was hyped to have like a random team to root for. And but it's frustrating. The thing is, going into the season, the off season, you're basically going to say, what can they do to change it? And there's not a whole lot. I mean, they're going to have to be willing to go into the luxury tax if they want to as an owner. And a lot of this too, also not just you can't in baseball, you can't buy everything. Every successful team has homegrown talent. And that's one of the problems with the Phillies is that a lot of these guys that they drafted in the last few seasons are not even up with the team and are nowhere near being ready. And so for example, they had the number 1 pick. They took Mickey Moniak. He's nowhere near being ready to play. You got a guy like Mark Appel in 2017. He's nowhere ready to be up here. Then you got Adam Hazley, who, he's not. He was up here for a little bit, but he was the 8th overall pick. I mean, you have a residual effect from a very poor scouting system and very poor drafting over the years that now when you're that 2, 3, 4 years later is where you're feeling that residual effect.
So when we were, I had shared a post with you guys and everybody was saying both of y'all had the same sentiments of how it starts at the head. It starts with the office, the leadership. Is when we talking? I mean, I thought the post was about the Eagles. But is this true about the Phillies as well?
What at the head office is not?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I mean, that's been the struggle all along. Is that the front office has not been strong, and the general manager, like when it was Matt Klintak, was poor, in the scouting department was poor. I mean, all the teams that you see around us, like they have the homegrown talent, they have the draft picks. The Braves have multiple. The Mets have multiple. I mean, every successful team is able to bring up guys. And you got to remember that allows you to have other leeway. So you can't go out and and like with the Phillies, they have invested a lot of money in a few players, but they're not having these other guys, follow through.
Who was the last player that kind of came up through the system and has succeeded?
I mean, Aaron Nola has been the last guy that you can say has been a successful Phillies farmhand. Yeah. So, and you got guys like, they were trading away. And that's the thing now is that, you have to kind of start from the bottom. You have to start from your scouting. You have to start from the default. You have to say to yourself, how are we going to rebuild this team? Because even when you go ahead, Coach, I'm sorry.
If you think about it, even like the guys that they've traded away and we're like, oh, we can't trade the farm system. We can't do this. We can't. Nobody that they've traded away has really blown up or succeeded or anything like that I can think of anyway. But I think that just shows even more how much your scouting department has let you down because, and I always go back to basketball. Like, if say like a guy like Maxey, and I'm saying we can trade him. He's going to produce wherever he goes. Or Simmons, if we trade him, he's going to produce wherever he goes. So that just shows that guys that they've drafted are still successful players. Whereas I feel like with the Phillies, none of the guys that they're bringing up are doing anything no matter where they go.
Right.
Yeah, no, and you're right. And that's the thing. And these guys that do come up, like, for example, Tony brought up Alec Boehm. Still waiting. I don't know if he's saying that he's successful or not. But these guys have not been impact players. We're looking for the guy to come up and be impact players. And that's another thing, too. When they talk about –
But do you trade them away, though? You trade them away for other stars, though. I mean, did you have to give away picks for Realmuto or no?
Oh, yeah. We traded one of our top arms for Realmuto.
That's what I'm saying. So your farm system is tied up in previous –
No.
I'm sorry. A lot of your
that's what I'm –
you know what I'm saying?
That's
Is that fair?
But you don't even know. That's my point. You don't even know. You don't even know what we traded because the guys that we're trading aren't successful either. So it's not like we're trading these guys. We don't have any. They're our best prospects, yeah, but they're still not any good.
They're not. And when you look at even this last offseason, people are saying, or not offseason, the trade deadline this past year. The Phillies don't have prospects that other teams are even saying, yeah, I want this guy, I want that guy. To me. There's nobody who's untouchable. If you're going to win and you want to win now, you go do what it takes to win now. And how many guys have you seen, that haven't worked out and haven't panned out? So I don't know. I mean, you gotta succeed from the farm system, and you're seeing years of ineptitude from the drafting. I mean, there's years, and the thing is, the Phillies have always, and I don't know if it's just a Philadelphia thing, have always felt outsmarted themselves as far as, guys sitting there and being the draft pick and going, outside the box and drafting a guy who was, on everyone's board at 30, drafting them at number 9. And it's,
Right.
I mean, it's just, I mean, even like, for example, Andrew Knapp, who's the backup catcher, Cody Bellinger, who's an NL MVP, one of the best home run hitters in the league, was drafted like 7 spots after Knapp. You know what I mean? Like, right. Guys were there. Like, and I would like to go back and see where Andrew Knapp was ranked on the list. Right.
So I mean, I guess the point that I'm making is that it seems like when the struggles come, the first thing we do is blame the office, but we're not like. I mean, I guess that could be to blame, but then sometimes it's the players too. But I mean, so the Phillies is having that same issue, the Eagles is having that same issue. Lord knows we're upset about the Sixers having that same issue. Like, it just seems like it's a consistent theme.
Well, and it is, and it's interesting. You wonder if they're all sitting in the same room together, like, oh, this is what we're going to do now. Now, kind of switching gears over, we talked about the Sixers. We want to bring up the Sixers, and the offseason has been kind of quiet.
I feel like I knew it was going to be.
Yeah, and I mean, they signed Embiid to the max deal. And
that's tough. I didn't understand that. Was he due for it?
I'm not even sure, but I think I was okay with it. It only takes him. Well, I guess he was due for it because he had 2 more years on his contract. So this only takes him to 2026. So that'll probably be his last contract anyway. So I was okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought so too. I mean, it's like again, everyone's talking about Ben Simmons, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, Ben Simmons is going to be on this roster come opening day. I don't think he's being traded this offseason.
And I'm okay with it. Because I believe that he's motivated. I believe that, he's in hiding.
What makes you think Ben Simmons is motivated?
I feel like I just know people. I just feel like
because he's shooting 3-pointers over a guy like me?
No. It's not even that. It's just that, how can you go through that and not bounce back better, not like feel challenged to change something? You know what I'm saying? It makes for a great story.
Yeah, but the thing is, and go ahead, Coach.
How do you feel about him not talking to anybody on the team?
I mean, listen, there's times when we just don't fucking feel like talking. It's just we got work to do. I mean, there'll be a time to talk and work it all out. But if he got to go, listen, sometimes you got to go in like a little tunnel. You got to go in a hole or something and get your life together and figure some shit out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody here has had to take a moment from people and be like, nah, I just got been handling some things, son. You know what I mean? Just been getting my shit together. You know what I mean? So it happens.
Did you see his latest workout video?
I didn't even know was he coming out with one?
Yeah.
Well, he had one, and it was like the worst video he could have shown of all his videos he's ever shown. So he's like working out. These guys are just working him out, and he's coming off a screen, and the guy guarding him goes over, chases him around the screen, which nobody in the history of the NBA has ever done to Ben Simmons. And then the next guy runs at him, and he makes a move, and he goes in and dunks.
Oh, no. Yeah.
It's never going to happen to you for the rest of your life.
Yeah. My thing is this. Listen. The problem, Ben feels some type of way because people feel as though it's your fault why we lost. And that is so not true.
Agreed. I agree.
That is so not true. I mean, and I think that's where he's like, that might have given him a reality check. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as one of the stars, one of the leaders, you hold a great deal of responsibility. And I don't think that Ben has maturated to that yet. And I think sometimes that's just life sometimes. Like, sometimes you got to go through humbling moments. It's a humbling moment. That's all I'm saying. I just think that that's what he had to go through. But I think he stays. I think you see players like Maxey get a little more burn. I think that he's still a valuable piece, and I think it'll be a mistake to trade him away. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just get in Dame Lillard and some pieces. But I just think you mess up by trading him away.
I mean, but like I said, you got a guy like Maxey who's sitting there playing in the summer league, trying to get his game better, growing his game, and that's how you adore yourself to the fans anyway. You see you putting in that work. Nobody wants to see any more videos of Ben Simmons at all. We're so tired of it.
I think. Go ahead, Coach.
If he's shooting jumpers, I'll watch him all day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's still a player. Like, he's still an all-star. He's still like top defensive. He's a hell of a piece. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like, you know what? I thought it was Jody Watley, but it may not have been. I think it might have been Janet Jackson that sung that song. What have you done for me lately? Like, Philly is that type of town. Like, what have you done for me lately? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wait a minute. Like, yo, Ben.
Wait a minute. Time out.
Ben is all right, man.
Time out. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jay. Tony, who's watching with us.
What's up, Tone?
Tone said, hot take, Flyers are making the playoffs. And this goes back to what we were just saying earlier in the show.
Right.
Flyers are the most loyal fans in the entire city when the Flyers have done nothing to be, but you guys continue to come back. Tony, what does it what makes you say that? Or is that just because, that you were a diehard Flyers fan? But what have they done that makes you say they're going to do the playoffs? So get back to us on that. But that goes back to show what we were talking about.
But in defense of Tony, is it fair to say that the Flyers are the most successful franchise in Philadelphia sports?
What, in history?
Yes.
I guess you'd say that. Look at all the franchises. They're kind of even as far as
how many chips the Flyers got?
Flyers got 2. Philly's got 2. Sixers got technically 2, 1 Super Bowl, and then Sixers got 1.
Sixers got 2. Flyers only had 2.
2.
Sixers got 2. Flyers only have 2.
Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
So all them Broad Street bullies and all that was only 2. Only two championships?
Let me just double check.
I feel like what the Flyers remind me of the Buddy Ryan Eagles.
The Flyers, what that
the Flyers remind me of the Buddy Ryan Eagles. Like everybody was so hype on them. Like their defense is like this, but they just never really won.
Oh, they never won. I thought they won.
No, never.
Oh.
You're right, but you're right. Everyone loved that defense. Everyone loved Buddy Ryan. You would have thought he,
Oh, I thought they won.
And aren't the Flyers the last team in Philly to win? Like, haven't they gone the longest without winning the championship?
Yeah, they have. Because the last one was 74-75.
Yeah.
Right. When the Phillies won when? 80 and 08?
Yeah.
Okay. The Eagles won in 17.
Yes.
Okay, because you said 2. You ain't talking about that one from 59. You ain't talking about that one from 59.
When he said 2, I was like, uh-oh.
I knew what I was getting into. I said technically 2. But it just goes back to Flyers fans are the most loyal. They are. They pack that.
I think the Philly fan is loyal. I think that, listen, Philly fans, they're loyal fans. They going to talk shit, though. They're going to talk shit about
fans don't do that. The Flyers fans never say anything negative about the Flyers.
Wow.
You're right. And that's the thing. Like and it's funny, like, because we got guys too, like the Flyers, and even guys who've been nothing but studs. Like, it's still, they get no crap talking at all. They always get a pass.
Wow. I mean, I always thought that Bobby Clark, he's beloved out here.
Well, Bobby Clark, yeah, that's what
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but they only won. Damn, they only won 2 chips though.
Right. Well, they won back to back.
Oh,
so I mean, anytime
that's okay. That's pretty spectacular. So then that goes back to my point. They are the most successful Philadelphia sports franchise.
I feel like that's even worse that they won back to back, because that means that they were good for 2 years and they haven't done anything since.
No, I mean you had the.
Oh, come on, coach. How do you spin a back to back into like a negative?
Yeah, but that's 75.
No, I'm saying if you're talking about over the time, like who's the best over time. So they had those 2 years of success, and I think they made it to maybe 2 other finals appearance, something like that. Like,
yeah,
if we're gonna compare your overall success, I think I'd rather have one in the 70s, one in the 80s, like, because I think I'd rather spread it out if we're gonna compare that.
Okay. 97 they were in the finals against the Red Wings, and then 2010 they were in the finals.
I remember 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
See, my girlfriend's in there. She agrees with you, Jay. She said 1960 doesn't count.
Oh, let's go. Okay. But I tell you though, I mean, if you think about it, like I said, they won back to back, right? This is actually a good trivia question. Who is the most successful Philadelphia sports franchise?
It's actually a great argument.
I think that it's the Flyers because they won back to back. You know how hard it is to win back-to-back? Every Philadelphia team that won the championship, let's go back to 08. 08 and 09, what happened to the Phillies? They lost, right? They lost, but they lost in the World Series, though.
No, they won.
So that's fair.
They won 08.
They won 08 and lost 09.
Right.
Back-to-back. They went back-to-back the World Series, okay?
Right.
The Sixers, they won 83 and lost in the first round because I remember I cried to the Nets in 1984. You know what I'm saying? So to go back-to-back, that's a hell of a feat, though. That's a heck of a feat right there, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And I'm not really a hockey person, but in 2010, I will tell you, the run that they were on coming back, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't help but get behind it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't help it. I was always just a Flyers fan just based on the colors. I thought the orange and black jerseys was dope.
No, I like when they went with the all black jerseys. And then they had they
had the orange. Yes, that's dope too.
So the thing is, if you want to get real technical, and I know I'm already getting to this. I don't even know this. The Eagles got 4 professional championships.
Stop it!
I didn't know this.
Are you serious?
1948, 1949, 1960, and 2017.
Who am I even watching in 1948?
I don't think
it's not even. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
Does it take away from the Flyers that there were less teams when they won? I'm just asking.
I'll say no. I actually think it strengthens it.
Yes,
because then it's easier to scout. It's easier to know what you're going to do constantly, day in, day out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I also think it doesn't deplete the teams you're playing against either. Like you are playing against stronger teams overall. Like you don't have those weakness in your schedule. So
right, but then you also, I see that from my standpoint too. I just know that if I play you 10 times, damn it, I better know after 10 times everything that you're doing every time you do it. I better know that.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting though. Like that's a great argument.
What's even strengthens it more on their end that the other teams knew what they were doing and they were Broad Street bullied. You know what I'm saying? They were Broad Street bullied.
I mean, they were playing helmetless and just knocking teams out.
Yeah, right.
It was crazy. Now I think that's a great debate and discussion of which is the most successful franchise in Philadelphia sports history.
And you know what? Because I looked it up too. I didn't know, and this is one thing I found out when I first moved over here. Actually, not even when I first moved over here, but really when I started coming out to where you at, Coach, with Next Level. I didn't know that was like the Flyers, like practice. Yeah, like that was like big time shit. I'm like, wow, that was amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and even the thing with Philly sports in general, like we are one of the only cities where you got all your teams in one area. We got all the venues in one area, and that in itself makes it pretty special.
Mm-hmm. I've actually never heard it spun in the way of a positive, but this is great. Yeah, I've never seen it spun that way. But
you never heard it spun that way?
No.
Wow.
Okay. No. I didn't not where it's a positive and then other teams spread out in different locations within that area as a negative. That I've never heard. Like the Jets, or the Giants let's go to Yankees and the Mets, right? I you know what I'm saying? I never seen it spun that way. Like that's a negative that the Yankees are in the Bronx and the Mets are in Queens. That maybe they could be.
I don't think he's saying that's a negative. I mean, most cities don't have two teams in the same sport, but I think it is pretty cool when there's multiple teams playing and right down in that area. I think it's pretty cool.
Like if you can go to a 1:00 Eagles game, and then if the Phillies are playing at 7 or something like that,
that's dope. That's dope.
That's Tony wants to know if you're a Nets fan, Jay.
I mean, I'm a New York guy.
He's a New York guy, right, Coach?
Right, I'm a New York guy. I mean, the funny thing is that you could ask a million New Yorkers. They will tell you, yo, listen, I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm also a New Yorker. So I still support all New York teams, man.
I'm not going to get into this.
I feel like I heard a lot this year about how Knicks fans hate the Nets, though, because of what they're doing.
Because of what? Because they came to Brooklyn, and it's New York. New York is always going to be a Knick town,
I agree.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the Nets have success, but you see the Knicks, they little sorry ass team with Julius Randle. You have more people in New York behind them Knicks than they did with them KD Nets.
Well, that's because the Nets aren't really a Brooklyn team; they're a New Jersey team. And I don't mean that. I don't mean that I'm not throwing shots. I'm saying that they're new, so it's not pure.
It's understandable. Well, I mean, somewhat, sort of. I mean, because it's more New Jersey now because time evolved. It used to be, the Nets used to be in New York. It used to be in Long Island. So those fans kind of died off. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying. So you're right. But then, with that being said, Randy,
yes,
are you a Nets fan? You too, Marcus. Are you a Net fan?
No, never.
No. But even when they were in New Jersey?
Never.
Why?
And here's why I think that. And I think that because North Jersey and South Jersey are two different states.
See, that's
it. You got that. Not you got that. What is it? The I-95 or no?
Whatever. It's two different. It's two different states, so it doesn't count. If they were in Trenton or something, I could rock with them, but.
Damn, see, and that's where I think that's amazing. But I get it though, because it's almost like me being in Long Island and Buffalo.
Tony wants to know why we're not.
So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And that's what Tony was saying that, why aren't we rooting for the Devils and things like that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because I know connection to those teams.
What do you mean? They're New Jersey. You're playing the same.
But like Marcus said, I feel like it's a whole different state. Like that's a whole different area, I
feel like New Jersey and South Jersey are two different things.
Yeah,
I actually feel like. Well, I don't know. See, I don't want. I'm nervous to say it, but I promise I mean no disrespect by it. I'm just we're just having an open, honest, objective conversation. But it's almost like, does New Jersey have an identity, or is it more like? Or are you more like like tofu? Have you ever had tofu?
I have.
Okay, so what is tofu? What is tofu? Tofu takes the flavor of other shit, right? It's just a mass. It's just a mass.
That's fair.
That's
South
fair,
Jersey.
Right?
South Jersey's a part of Philadelphia, and North Jersey's a part of New York. That's fair.
Yeah,
tofu it's like tofu. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes the flavor.
I remember it was, and you what was her name?
Tofu's delicious, actually.
Coach,
if you have the right flavor,
Coach, you might remember her. She was a Spanish teacher at East, blonde haired.
Spanish teacher with blonde hair. Let's go.
I thought he was about to get me in trouble with something.
No. Oh no! And I can't remember her name. But she was pushing the vegetarian, and she had everyone try tofurkey come Thanksgiving.
Tofurkey.
And she said, "Don't worry, you won't know the difference." And I said, "Oh, I know the difference."
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but it's interesting though, and we were talking about it, and It is interesting about where the Sixers are at and where they're going, and just in general, and just kind of wrap up that Ben Simmons talk. Like, I think that the fans. Here's the thing though with the Sixers, like nobody cares about the regular season. You know where they're going to be as long as they end up in that like top 3 spot. You're okay with it,
right?
It's what happens come playoff time. So nobody cares. No one's going to care. What Ben's doing. Because like even last year, he had that 40-point game, blah, blah, blah. No one's going to care until playoff time. So everyone's going to say, show me when it matters. Show me when it counts. So really, we're not going to be able to even say the jury out on has Ben Simmons changed until crunch time comes. Unless he comes out and he's averaging on a game.
He's 25.
I think it's a little different this year with Ben because now it's a matter of are you going to be like I think we'll know are you going to be aggressive on offense? Like are you going to look to score? Are you going to look to shoot? Are you going to be able to get to 70% from the foul line? Because I don't think what he went through in that series isn't just a playoff thing. That's something that's going to affect him every time he steps on the court.
Yeah,
because that's what everybody's going to be looking at. So I think we'll know. And I think he will be traded before the season starts. That's my opinion. I'm not saying I want him to, but I think he will be. And I don't think we're going to get back what we should. But I think we'll know pretty early on who he is and who he's going to be.
We are who they thought they were. We let him off the hook. So what? Speaking of though too with the Sixers, and this always gets me. I know it's all business, but did you guys read where they just let about 10 or 15 of their employees go, including the senior equipment manager, who apparently had a phenomenal relationship with Joel Embiid, and all for cost cutting. And you got Josh Harris, who's sitting there, billionaire. It's just like, come on, people don't understand when it comes to like relationships and players. Like when you have that certain guy, like we've all played on teams, you may have like coach, you may have that trainer, you may have somebody on your team that you have a good relationship with, that's a different aside from coaches. And when you let these guys go, it's like, come on. Like, and this is a guy who started from the bottom, like literally was like a volunteer equipment manager, worked his way all the way up, and you let him go. For what reason? For what reason? When you are making the money, when you're a billionaire, I don't know. To me, that's the thing. Because when I saw it, it reminded me of a statement you made when we were talking about the Phillies, and you're like, "Yo, you got the money." We don't know what's in people's pockets. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. Scott Rigo, that was
the Sixers
go ahead.
The Sixers have a history of this. Remember during the pandemic, they tried to cut everybody's salary, and then there was a huge backlash from the community, from the players, so that they ended up not doing it. But I feel like they don't have a good pulse of what's going on.
No, and my buddy Mike, who's watching with us, he says that Ben will kill the Sixers when he comes back.
Ben's not going nowhere. I mean, listen, Ben's not going nowhere. He's going to be right there, and they're going to work that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. But
but back to the thing. You know what I was looking for, and this is messed up, but it's the truth. I was looking for Embiid to say, "Well, listen, you my dude. Yo, I'll pay the salary for the year."
Well, he did do that during the pandemic.
Yeah, but he just got the bag a day before they let his ass go. So chances are, the way I looked at it and discerned it was like, because Embiid got the bag, they had to let all these other people go. That's kind of how I looked at it. I mean, because the timing of it was like, damn. I mean, Embiid signs Monday, everybody gone by Friday.
But I
mean that's what happened though, right?
No,
like,
it is.
Okay.
It is.
I know it's not just me.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But it's not like they gave him all the money on Monday.
But they already futurely planning. Like, wait a minute, hold up. They like, wait a minute. And Embiid negotiated the shit himself. Okay, you read that argument. He's very smart and articulate or whatever. But I mean, what did they give him? He made what, 100? It was like what, 197 for 4?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yep.
But I mean, to be
4
fair
years.
though, those contracts are. I'm not going to say they're easy to negotiate, but like, there's no negotiating. You give me the max that you can give me, you know, and then we're fine. If you're not going to give me the max, then we're going to have to figure this out. But like, that's just the most thing.
So it's already it's a number out there already. What that
based
max
on
is
based on how many years you've been there, different awards you've won, if you've been first team, all that kind. Like that's why him making what do you make second team All NBA. If he would have been first team All NBA, it would have been like 2 something. So
got you. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I think it's just hard though when you see that go, and like you said about the pulse of the organization, you know, and you look, it's going to be interesting with the Sixers. Like I said, you know, they're going to be there. And when you say there, well, I don't even know because this year they weren't there. I mean, they lost in the second round of the playoffs. You know, when you tell me that
you're better.
Yeah, and teams around them did get better.
They did.
So, you know,
did. I mean, you know, hey, listen, real quick. I don't know who the stretch 4 is, George Niang or whatever his name is. They're really high on him. I just get tired of the Sixers being high on bums. That, you know what I'm saying? Like just regular, like we was high on Mike Muscala. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, he's a bum. He didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? We be high on these, you know, average, below average players like they're going to do something. So I don't know George Niang and what he did in Utah. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, if he did so much, why did he get rid of his ass?
So George Niang's he's better than Mike Scott. He's like that's where he's at. Like he's not
okay. Mike's time ran out. He just I think it's probably an age thing with him, right? He's just getting older.
Well, I mean, he couldn't make shots. Like he couldn't like he had a run there, I guess 2 years ago where he was making shots and everybody's all excited about him and all that stuff. But then that you know, that's just not it's like the Phillies. He came back to who he really is. And then
come on.
But George Niang, like that's what he's supposed to do. Like that's like Mike Scott was supposed to be a tough guy. Like that's who he, you know, tough guy that made shots. George Niang is just supposed to make shots. That's all you're supposed to do. Just make shots.
Make shots. Okay.
Well, I mean, and you know, we brought back Corky, our big time 3-point shooter.
Yeah, well, that's play money though. That ain't nothing. 3 years, $15 million. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, tell Scott Rigo that's play money.
But no, tell Joe Embiid to you know what I'm saying? Because he should pay. He's the closest to him. Come on, I mean, you just signed 100.
Okay, so let me.
You know who the highest paid is?
The highest paid Sixer? It's either Tobias or it's Tobias, right?
Yeah, Tobias.
Right, but he's not close to Tobias. He said he's close to Embiid. They need to pay Scott Rigo. So if you pay him, shit.
So if you're working with your boy and your boy let go, you're gonna supplement his salary?
If I just sign the bag on Monday and his ass gets fired on Friday because I signed the bag on Monday, I gotta throw something to him. Because I'm the reason why he got paid. I'm the reason I got paid, and I'm the reason why you got fired. They fired you so they could pay me. That's how it went down.
What did you say, Coach?
I want to know how much he was making.
Rigo, I'm gonna say no more than 60,000.
No, he was making
more than what?
No, I think he was making at least. I'm gonna give him at least 200,000.
Damn. For equipment, oh man,
but he was senior equipment, like he was the director of everybody else.
Okay, so maybe 150.
I'm going to. Coach, you looking it up for us?
I'm trying to find it. I can't.
But you know, I was having this conversation. Senior director, equipment manager,
senior director of equipment operations. That was his title. I'm trying to find his salary.
Right. I say no more than 150 now that you brought that to light. But my thing is this: 150, 200,000 to somebody making 197 million is like $5 to me with my salary. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing.
You're right.
That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like they go out to restaurants and pay a bill for $1,000. That's like them going to the dollar store.
Yeah, I love the dollar stores.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I know you do. You're upset they stopped selling steaks.
No. I got past that point in my life. But, look, we'll see what happens. Coach is trying to find that. It's just, you you talk about pulses of organizations, right? And, I got to switch gears again, talk about the other organization in the city now this time of the year with the Philadelphia Eagles. And, it's interesting. The other day, everyone was jumping on the Eagles because Jalen Hurts didn't play in the second preseason game. And he was out and he was warming up and he was dancing and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then he had the stomach issue. And listen, I don't really care that much about preseason. He could have had a stomach issue, whatever it was. People making excuses. Oh, you don't do this, you don't do that. No, there's no reason to knock Jalen Hurts right now. Mm-hmm. And people are just looking for it. I mean, did they get blasted in the second game? Absolutely. Did they look horrible? Absolutely. But I mean, you had your second and third stringers in. You had Joe Flacco, who is not going to see the field unless unless Jalen's out. And so, I mean, anybody who's worried about preseason football, I can't agree with that.
Well, I mean, it's still, nobody likes to lose. I mean,
no, it wasn't just a loss. So
it's a spanking.
Yeah.
But for real, it's really, to me, I think it's Sirianni. He looks lost out there. And when I hear him speak, it's like me hearing a teenager.
You know what? It is almost like
I'm hearing a teenager speak.
Like like he was just put in charge of do you remember the movie? What was it? Little Big League, I think, when the young kid got to take over the major league team, and he was all excited about it. But that's kind of what it is. To me, the jury's still out on Nick Sirianni. I mean, obviously, you have to see what happens come the regular season. The thing that I think that bothers people is when you still have Jalen Hurts, this is now his team and he's taken over. You would like to see something in the preseason like that would make you say, okay, they're on the right page. Now, from what I understand, they were saying in these joint practices that they're having now, which is a new thing with they did the joint practices with the Patriots. Those are more intense, that he was looking really good. So, and that those are more game time situations and not so much with the preseason. But but we'll see. I mean, expectations for this team. I mean,
he doesn't seem, when I heard his press conference or when I hear him speak, I just feel like he's out of his league.
Sirianni?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I don't want to knock the guy because I don't know him.
Why not?
I don't know him. I mean, I'm still the jury's out.
You don't know none of you. I mean, you don't personally know any of them. But we're just trying to, kind of. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I'm saying that the Eagles might really struggle this year.
Oh no, I wouldn't be surprised.
But not because of talent though. I think that might be part of it, but I think a lot of it is going to be because of coaching. I think you guys are going to be like, you know how you guys were scrutinizing Dougie P after he brought you a chip. You're going to go in on him, on Sirianni.
Oh, Sirianni's going to have.
You're going to go in on him.
Listen, like you said, you think we were hard on Doug. Sirianni. Listen, let's say we go out and Coach, I'll let you get in on this. Let's say we go out week 1 against Atlanta, which in Atlanta can always be a tough game. Let's say we go out there and we lose 34-10. Man, they will be ripping Nick Sirianni come Monday morning. Coach, what are your thoughts?
No, I agree with that. I think the thing I see, and we talk about how preseason doesn't really mean much and blah, 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 blah. But you in a preseason game, you should never lose a game 35-0. I don't care who's on the field. That shouldn't happen because it's not like the other team is playing their best players. They're not, guys are sitting just like you're sitting, guys. So I think it comes down to, and they're playing the Patriots with Belichick, but it comes down to just having your players in your systems being able to be being able to be successful. And there was nothing that was like, oh, well, they're doing this well. They're just not there yet. They're still learning it. Like, it didn't look good at all. It just didn't look crisp. And I didn't watch the whole game, but it just didn't look crisp at all.
No, and I pretty much watched up until like Nate Mullins came in. Because at that point I said, okay, like they're still running a lot of the regular system with Joe Flacco. Let's see what they got. I'm also more interested in, these younger receivers that we're depending upon to be.
Well, I heard Devontae had a nice.
Devontae played great, and
that's what I heard. I heard he played good with the bums.
Yeah, Devontae played fantastic. I have no worries about Devontae Smith. I mean, he's going to be awesome.
So okay, I mean, and you like the Smith Hurts connection.
Oh yeah, and they played together in college.
Okay, so you like that connection for the Eagles?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. How you know what? I'm sorry, Coach. I'm going to drift for a second.
Don't bring it up.
Okay, I have to bring it up. How do you feel about the news with Carson? Because I don't think we haven't been on a show.
Come on, man.
We haven't talked since that news. How do you feel about that news? Honestly,
which news? Because there's been multiple news.
The news. Well, of course, I know you're going to shift it in a direction. So before you shift it
to me, so it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
How did you feel when you found out he was hurt?
I was like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter anymore.
You know what? And Randy, I try to have your back in these situations, but this is pretty funny. You know what? This sounds like it's like when like you break up with a girl and somebody asks you about it and you're just like, I don't care about it. I don't care about it.
You're about to get in trouble. You're in trouble, man.
Absolutely. That's exactly how it sounds.
I was gonna go there, but see now, I was gonna say, but
that's exactly how it is. Because listen, I know you were hurt. I know you were.
No, I don't care if he's hurt. Because thing is,
yes, you do.
No, because here's the thing, though. I don't care anymore about the success of his career.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you why you do.
Why?
Because it was your perspective that Carson should stay. So you secretly want Carson to do well, so you could say, "I told you the Eagles should have did it. They didn't give him this. They didn't give him that." If Carson does well, then that just reiterates and validates your point. But if he's still like that fucking glass Joe,
well, he is.
Then that's not a good thing.
The only thing I care about now is that his success does impact the Eagles as far as the draft pick that they will get.
Okay. I heard that.
But the thing is, too, like you said, it's done. I mean, it's done. It's over with. I threw out my Carson shirts. I threw out my Carson jerseys. Well,
your girl would have to verify that.
She can.
Throw them in the trash, or you just throw them to the back of the closet.
Right.
No, they're gone. They're out. I put them Goodwill.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, she'd have to verify that.
Well, Bree, if you're watching, please verify this.
She'd have to verify that. Wow, you threw away that $100 jersey. You should have sent it over here. Shit, what I mean?
People were putting 1+1 and then putting Hurts on the back of their Carson jersey because he's number 2. And
no, but from what I noticed just thus far, I mean, preseason is preseason. I give you that.
But if you look at successful, you look at teams like, for example, you talk about the Patriots. The Patriots still went out there. Cam Newton and Mac Jones were competing for the QB starting job. They were out there. They played. Belichick said, I need to see these guys in rhythm. I need to see who's in rhythm, who's not in rhythm. So
that's coaching.
Right. So you look at, a guy like that and you say, look, he's got his guys out there. He wants to see some success. And I do think that especially for like a guy like Sirianni and a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, there's got to be some kind of rhythm. There's something that you need to see in game action to build a little bit of success. Like in this, and the people like this next game coming up, I think it's Friday against the Jets. I want to see Hurts play. I don't want to see he played last year too, but this is now his team. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see the first game of his team be the opening day versus Atlanta. I want to see something.
He needs to coach. He's never coached before. Been a head coach, I'm saying. So he needs to treat all these games like they're the real deal for his own processes. Yeah. When are we going to throw the challenge flag? When are we going to use our timeout? He needs to be treating it like this is the real deal. Because if he's, like you said, if he comes out week 1 and is fumbling and stumbling and doesn't know what to do, he might not make it to week 2.
That's what I'm saying. And he looks like a deer in headlights.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people now are saying, he's a puppet for the front office. He's a puppet for the front office.
He just looked. I don't understand how he got the opportunity.
Because he was the puppet for the front office. And people are saying, like, for example, the other day I was hearing on the radio that Howie Roseman didn't like the play calling, didn't like what was going on. Why the hell are you worried about that? It's not your job.
That wasn't, I mean, listen, they did all this. So Coach was right when he said that the problem, and you were right too, the problems with the front office, because the fact that you did all this stuff, all this uproar was because of Carson. Last year's every decision, the losing, all of that was all about Carson.
Right.
And do you see it now?
But no, because
Peterson's gone because of Carson.
You look at the front office, though. The front office is still meddling too much.
Well, the front office, they made right moves. Where they went wrong is they sided with Carson as opposed to siding with Peterson. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at the end of the day, they sided with nobody.
Well, they got rid of Peterson, hoping that would appease Carson, and then Carson, they wound up getting rid of him.
But then you went and you drafted Jalen Hurts, and it's like you
drafted,
you fed two people at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you just didn't want to be asked out. That's what it was. Because guess what? Listen, what Carson's doing right now is no different than what he's been doing this whole time, getting hurt.
Yeah,
he does that very well.
He does. I feel like
Laurie bought this team, has this team, and Roseman's like his boy. It would be no different. Let's say, Jay, you bought a sports franchise, and you're like, yo, guys, I got this franchise. Let's just do, and like they're like playing like fantasy football. It's not real life to them.
Exactly.
It's not real life. It's just like let's do this. Oh no. You know what? Let's just do that. Like it's not like they're playing like Madden on fantasy mode or something. It's not. They're trying to do everything.
See, I agree. I do agree. Okay, because it's like him playing his own video game. You're right to that point. You're right. But since Laurie's had the team has been successful.
They have, absolutely. That's been their best.
I'm successful when I play Madden too.
I'm terrible. I'm awful.
I'm just saying, like if we look at things on a broad scale, like they've been to several NFC championships. They got one chance. Like if you look at the whole thing, a whole body of work, they've been very successul. They got a Super Bowl ring out of it too.
For sure. When did Roseman come along? Like when did he become like the GM?
Let me look it up.
I mean, has he been an Eagle lifer too? Or did he start from the bottom like a Scott Rigo?
You know what? You really hating on Scott Rigo. You know?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, yo, come on. I mean,
I mean, he
come on now. Come on.
He became GM in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, he was hired by the team in 2000. So he's been an Eagles lifer.
Eagle lifer. He started from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? He's been there. Was he before Laurie? Laurie brought the team when?
Let me see.
So 2010 to 2017. How are the Eagles?
That's Mike Vick. He went through the Mike Vick. They pulled the trigger on Mike Vick, gave the brother a second chance. You know what I'm saying?
He bought the Eagles in 1994. Jeffrey Lord.
Okay, so then 6 years after that. But since 2010, the Eagles, they haven't been. Had they been to any type of NFC championship? Nah, not until 2017.
Right.
So they were consistent. They were in the playoffs several times.
Yeah, because they had the playoffs. Yeah, you had the playoff runs. Yes,
you still had McNabb. I think towards the end of McNabb.
That was the early 2000s, and then
here we go. 2010, 10-6. 2011, 8-8. 2012, 4-12. 2013, 10-6. 14, 10-6. 15, 7 and 9, 16, 7 and 9, and then we go 17, 13 and 3, 18, 9 and 7, 19, 9 and 7.
Okay.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playoff berths.
11 years, so 6 years. I mean, and you had to deal with the Chip Kelly fiasco.
Yeah,
you deal with all that.
Like you're not dealing with it. You're a part of it.
That's true. They got rid of Andy Reid, closed out that era.
And what did Andy do?
Won a chip. Two chips. He won 2?
No, just one.
What are you talking about?
Just
Right.
one.
You know, you make these mistakes often. You do. No. Because you know what? You made that mistake with Carson talking about he won a playoff game. No, he didn't. He didn't win one playoff game. He hasn't played in one.
You know, what's
he
my
did play in
contract
one.
up on this show? Restructure my contract. I know there's other networks dying.
Oh, man. Speaking of that, did I hear a rumor that Max Kellerman is out?
Yeah.
ESPN?
Yeah. I was reading that they may not re-up his contract.
That's what I heard. Wow.
And then they're saying who can be with Stephen A.
I like Stephen A. and Skip. I thought
And
they were
that's
cool.
the thought, is that they're going to bring Skip back.
I would bring Skip back. Skip, they were good. But anyway, I mean, listen, I just think that, you know, just to on my last point on the Eagles, I just think that, you know what, Sirianni is he's not ready yet. He's like a deer in headlights, and I don't think that he should be the leader of our team.
I agree.
Wait. What was that word you used?
It's the second time he's used it.
Our team.
Okay.
That's
All
right.
right. I'll let you know. I'll let you all.
That's right.
You know, I mean, look, you know, in the broader scheme, like I said, looking over, it's wide open. You know, and we'll get into some more NFL talk as the season approaches.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looking at the whole grand scheme of things as far as, you know, the layout of the leagues and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, before we kind of work our way out, I wanted to talk about the Little League World Series, which I absolutely love.
All right. Well, you've been I don't know if coaches has, but then I know I haven't watched it. I didn't even know it was on.
I love it.
Yeah.
So so shout out. There's this young lady. Her name's Ella Bruny.
Okay.
She is from Texas.
I have heard about her though.
Yeah, she's a female catcher for the team, and she's an absolute stud.
Let's clap her up then. We clap you up. Clap her up a little bit.
She is a stud amongst these boys. And I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen like pictures like Monet Davis and whatnot, you know, be awesome, and some other girls. But she came in, first of all, she's amazing behind the plate. Okay. I mean, she came in the other day, base hit to left center field, stole second, advanced on third. Like, she is not afraid. So shout out to her and Ella Brunning. And these kids, it's amazing watching these kids.
No, I'm sure. I mean, you know, perform at that level. She's almost doing like, I guess, like what Rhea Muto's doing at $25 million a year. I'm just saying, she's impacting the team like that, right?
She'll probably get paid too.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, like, you know, she's stealing bases too.
She's doing it all.
Oh man,
she's doing it all.
See?
But these kids, I'm telling you, they're amazing. Like, and it's just, and these kids are huge. Some of these kids.
Yeah, well, you know, I always say it's in the, you know. They say it's in the water, it's in the food, or I don't know, but you're right though.
It's in the birth certificate.
Oh, in the birth certificate,
right? Yeah,
that's funny.
I was watching the other day. I mean, it's just so cool to watch the experiences of these kids, and it's just like, because it's just natural and pure joy, and that's the thing. I mean, like I was watching the other day. It was the opening game of the Little League World Series. First batter, and he hit a moonshot home run. First batter of the Little League World Series, like blasted it. Must have been 300 and some feet.
Wow.
It was like, you know, these kids will never forget it. It's just, I love it. Love it.
Wow.
So,
well, I mean, so is it back on? It's on every day now, right?
Yeah. There's two teams. There's it's crazy. There's the Toms River team, same little league as Toms River, who won it back in the day. And then there's a team from Pennsylvania that won last night for Oaks, PA. So there's two local.
Oaks, wow.
Yeah, there's two local teams.
Okay.
So, and it's crazy. Todd Frazier, you remember that name? The former Yankee.
Yes.
Yeah, the former Met.
Too. I remember. Yeah.
Now he played for that same Toms River team. That's where he made his name in this area. Right. And his nephew is on that team too, killing it.
Oh wow.
And it's just like, you know. So we're getting a shout out to Toms River.
Yeah.
So
yeah, is Tom's River? Do you associate that with Jersey, or is that?
Well, I knew you were going to go there, and I think it's
New
different
York.
when I'm rooting for little league teams.
It's different.
It's different.
It's
All
South
right.
Jersey. Tom's River, South Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, when in the split of the state, Tom's River, South Jersey.
Yeah, that might actually be one of the areas that you can say is central.
Well, it's sure,
Yeah.
and then but it's yeah. I guess I would still consider that South Jersey. I mean, I don't know. I consider Jersey as like one state. Like there's different parts though, but still, like you should still root for, what I'm saying, Northern New Jersey teams, man, because it's still New Jersey.
Nah.
But that's all right. It's all good. All good.
Not
It's a different level of loyalty. I'm understanding. It's a different level of loyalty.
No, that's what it is. It's loyalty. It's not about like the whole thing. It's just about we're gonna pick somebody and we're gonna stick with them. So even when one team's not doing well, we don't just jump and go to a different team. Like we don't just. Oh, Syracuse is playing well. That's my team. Or, oh wait, no, St. John's is gonna be my team today. Oh, look at those Buffalo.
Hey, like I said, tofu. That's what I'm telling you. Tofu is the greatest analogy of Jersey.
Speaking of New York teams, though, the Yankees have been
tell me about it, baby.
on fire.
No, but then they dipped.
Yeah,
but then they rebounded.
They are on fire. On fire. Come on, unbelievable.
Their trade deadline was insane.
Oh yeah, picking up Joey Gallo, unbelievable pickup. Anthony Rizzo, unbelievable pickup. I mean, it's just well, that's what, and I'm paid that. That's when you get a well-ran, winning championship organization. They know the moves to make and how to press the buttons.
They don't panic. I'm telling you, it's all in the panic.
And if you look at all the guys who are they've been filling in a lot of Farms League guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's a championship organization.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even.
Who were they trading to get these guys?
They go back. They're not even trading their big studs. Like they're trading these B-level prospects, C-level prospects.
Exactly.
And they also are taking on the contracts. They're going into the luxury tax. They're doing things that championship teams do to be successful.
But also they're not. They're paying for stars, okay? Because they'll pay for star power.
Yeah.
But the position that star plays matters.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
They're not like for, and I'm just being honest. I mean, and it's going. You're going to say, "Oh, I knew you was going to go there," but it's the truth, though. They're not paying that kind of money for a catcher.
Correct, but they also are paying Garrett Cole $300 and some million.
Well, they realize that having a quality pitcher, an ace, especially in a potential wild card game, is more important than having a $200-something million catcher.
But you have the thing is, so the Yankees though they went and got Garrett Cole $300+ million. The Phillies, they signed Zach Wheeler, they signed JT, so they got 2 for 1. Like you still got 2 for 1 in that situation.
But you didn't need. I'm saying you don't need to spend that kind of money on a catcher. Like Philadelphia, South Jersey, not North Jersey, because that you're not Philadelphia. South Jersey and Philadelphia, please, if you can comment and help me understand, would you spend that kind of money on a catcher? I just wouldn't spend that kind of money on a catcher, yo.
We always go back to this, but if they didn't give it to JT, and you're saying to spread it out over better players, right, throughout, you're still right. But you're saying that you still have zero star power. Because you're just getting these smaller guys to fill out your roster. So you still don't have Garrett Cole, you still don't have Rizzo, you still don't have Gallo, you still don't have Judge, you still don't have any of these guys. Now you just have a bunch of Didi Gregorius around your team. That's it.
Right. No, but wait a minute. So this Phillies guy was. So it's fair to say they got 2 max players in Harper and Realmuto, right? So right. So you're still gonna have 2 max players. It's just that one of those maxes is not going to be a catcher.
No, but I disagree because the money you gave to Realmuto isn't going to get you a max level player at another position. because he's not making, because he's a catcher, his max is lower than what an outfielder's max would be, or a third baseman's max would be.
Okay.
I mean, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
So,
you're right.
Okay. So he won't get. Okay. So he got paid that money because he was not because he's his totality of a baseball player is more of what he is at that position.
And I also go back to they
you.
traded what was considered one of their top arms in the minors for JT. So as an organization, they were kind of backed into a corner of we have to re-sign him because if we don't, we look like fools for renting a guy for half a season.
Well, that's the same thing that the Eagles did with Carson. And they are, you know what I'm saying? They look like fools.
Well, you're right. Because in a way, you're right. I mean,
you know
because they traded all the picks for Carson, they had to re-sign him. You're right. So, I mean, look, the Yankees are on fire, man. And it's just like you said, it's that championship mentality, going and get it, going and making the moves. And that's the thing. Like the Phillies made a few little moves at the deadline, blah, blah, blah. But with that said, we'll see what happens. But like I said, we covered a lot today. We covered, a lot in a great show with the Eagles, the Sixers, talk about the Phillies. Was there some other topics nationwide that we wanted to bring up? Anything you wanted to bring up, Coach Jay, before we get into our final
thoughts today? Did you guys see Sha'Carri Richardson race?
I did.
No, I did.
So
what's that? What is that? That's the track?
That's the one who was disqualified because of the positive marijuana test.
Did she win?
No.
She lost?
Yeah. She lost bad.
And she lost badly.
Last.
Like dead last.
Wow.
So, but you know what though? I mean,
wow.
And I don't put too much weight on it, but
Wow.
So, I don't put too much weight on it.
Wow, that's unfortunate though.
I mean, here's the argument I was having with one of my friends the other day, or last night, I guess. When that happened, are we allowed to Are we allowed to I don't want to say judge isn't the word, but are we allowed to come at her for losing like we would come at somebody else? Or because of her situation, are we supposed to just let it go?
It's a good argument. Have to think about that one.
Like if Usain Bolt got into a race and got smoked, we would all be on him. He ain't shit. He's nothing. He's falling off. We would say all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when he was in his prime, or do we just is this something? I just think there's a double standard for some of this stuff, and it's just about the race. I don't care about her life, her personal life. Like I could, that's on her. I'm saying from an outside perspective.
I think you can't really come at her because what she got banned for, which I don't think she should have been banned for anyway, but that was the rules. What she got banned for wasn't something that was. I mean, people will make this argument of, maybe she smoked to, ease her anxiety, which helped her race better. People will say all the things. I don't really think it was somewhere you say, well, you were banned for performance-enhancing drugs, and now you can't race. So I don't think it's easy I don't think you should be coming at her. I think this is just what it is. I think this was her first race back. She said, I need to get back on the track to try to re-strengthen my name. And, unfortunately, she probably wasn't training as she normally does because of everything that was going on. So I don't think it's tough to come at her. See what happens in the next future races.
Well, she's going to have to, obviously, the marijuana was like her anxiety. You know what I'm saying? They're helping her with her anxiety. So now she obviously can't use that means. So now she
can now because I think it's only not illegal for the Olympics because I think the United States races, I don't think test for it.
Oh, okay.
I think. Well, I could be wrong, but I think that's correct.
Yeah, but I don't think that she probably not even smoking right now. She probably, you know what I'm saying? It's because of so much shame that has come. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure there was been a narrative where people felt like, oh, well, she was only winning because she was getting high. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think, Yeah, she wasn't smoking before the damn race.
I don't know anybody throwing a blunt and then running
right.
200 meters.
Yeah, I don't see all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, if she was doing the Nathan's hot dog contest, then I'd say, hey, maybe. You know, then I would say, hey, maybe. You know what I mean? But not running no race now. No.
Watch tomorrow. It's going to come out. Joey Chestnut test positive for.
Yo, I don't even know how you eat that.
Oh my God! It's so they're not even eating them. Yeah. Like I enjoy hot dogs. Hot dogs are they're just.
I can see. You know what? I'm okay with like Joey Chestnut or a guy doing it. I'm just not okay with a female doing it.
And they're not. They're like little. Some of them are like little. I don't understand how they do it.
Small as shit.
I think the best one is this tiny Asian.
Right. She is just tanning.
She's like 5'1", 110 pounds, and she's down to like 19 pounds of spaghetti.
Right. I'm like, yo, I just can't. Like, and I think it's like and it could be a little chauvinistic, whatever, but it's my mind shifts to the shit kind of come out. And it's like, I don't, exactly. Then see, that's what I'm saying. That's the face I make. Like, every time I see, I'm like, hell, you know what? You about to, nah, I ain't fucking with this. Nah. Yeah. I don't know. That's just what, my mind's crazy.
But they be dipping it in the water and everything. And
it's disgusting.
And they got, some of them have they'll like have the bun in one hand and the hot dog in the other. They got these techniques. But the wild thing too is not even just the hot dog eating contest. Like if you look at some of the other belts and championships they hold, they'll be like, most pizza, most tacos. And you're just like, wow. So, and the crazy thing is, a lot of these guys like Kobayashi and even Joey Chestnut, but Kobayashi was shredded to the bone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like these guys were overweight or fat or anything. Right. These guys were well put together. So, man. So, but I was glad you brought up that point about Sha'Carri Richardson, coach. With that said,
I guess. Hey, I'm talking. I might as well just do my little.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Chill.
I don't know of any. I don't know. I don't know if I've been disconnected from sports or I'm just trying to get my mind right because you know what, school is about to be back in session and I feel like it just got out of session. You know what I'm saying? And now it's back in session. So I'm not sure if that's what it is or whatever. But I can tell you, football is going to bring a lot more excitement into the sports realm coming soon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, August baseball, of course, is good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy about my Yankees. My Yankees are looking good. Gary Cole is pitching good. So I'm happy about them. I like to see them in the fall. Nothing like Yankee baseball in the fall.
I have to agree with that.
Right. So I'm waiting for that. I'm excited about that basketball season.
For Yankee baseball.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Keep working on it too. It's you got a good impression, good voice, man. You know what I mean? Come to a game. We should go.
Oh, I'm all about it. I don't have anything against the Yankees.
Never did. Good. So, I mean, but, I think that and then Ben Simmons, when training camp open, the end of September. So you're going to have Ben Simmons coming back. You're going to have the Sixers coming back. The only thing that's scary right now is this, the Delta. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's getting scary. I was in the shop right yesterday and they said, this is a high transmission area and you need to have your mask on in the grocery store. It's recommended. In my mind, I mumble on my breath. I never took my shit off in the grocery store. I never did. I didn't care if I was vaccinated or not. Like, I'm not taking my shit off. No, it's just too public.
No, you're right. Saying? You're right.
I went to the rest area on the turnpike. Motherfuckers in there just walking.
First of all,
no mask. I'm like,
that's where you do the elbows too. Like you don't even touch nothing. Yeah, you can't avoid it.
Just. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a little nerve-wracking or whatever with this Delta. But, kids got to go back to school, though. They got to go back to school. They got to get back in school. So I'm hoping, that's going to be there and we're just going to be better. I don't know. But that's my final thought.
I agree with it. I echo a lot of what you said. Nothing better than Yankee baseball.
And this last thing, hoping to the climate change, whatever. I hope it don't rain Thursday because I want to go fishing with the family. So we're going on a party boat in New York. So hopefully
that should be fun.
Yeah. Just
make sure the seas are at ease.
Yeah. Just and be able to catch some good fish, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But other than that, is it's good.
All right. Coach, how about yourself?
First of all, I want to give a shout out to Shane Cleveland. Shane's been on the show before, always comment. He got married on Saturday.
We got
to give a shout out to him.
Go ahead. Congratulations.
Yes. Sports wise, man, same thing. Sentiments as Jay. Football starting up is pretty cool. That's always exciting just to see where everybody's at, see who stepped up, who's not stepping up. And then always, I'm looking forward to basketball season. So that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Same thing. I kind of just same thing with you guys. Just excited for football season because I do fantasy football. I mean, football is the one sport I think of the most that you can just like Sunday's football day. You can you put the game on, whatever's on. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping my Phillies can hang around. And that's the thing that's going to be bothersome is I know they're going to hang around. They're going to be somewhere in that 3 to 5 games out range for the rest of the year.
How about the wild card, though?
Well, they're 5 games out of the wild. And that's what was so big about this Padres series, too, is that the Padres were one of the teams they're chasing in the wild card, and they would have been going for a sweep today. And like that fluctuation between going to be 3 games out and then, or it would have been 2 games out if they could have swept them. Now they could be 4 games out. It's just – mentally, too, you come into the weekend and you say, okay, we struggled against the Diamondbacks, which was that's terrible, by the way. We didn't bring that up, that they're not beating the teams you're supposed to beat. And I hate when they always say we have an easy schedule. No, to me, sometimes the hardest teams to play are those teams at the bottom because all those guys are fighting for jobs. So I would, that to me is the hardest team to play. We'll see what happens. And I got to go back to work tomorrow, first time in 12 days. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had a nice little stretch of time off.
Yeah. You going in or?
No, I will be.
You're still from the crib?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I will be out there at some point if I need to, but
sure.
This Delta variant is, like you said, a little scary. And even when I said, so the one thing too is, still trying to work on building the Camden baseball program. We got them enrolled in a tournament later in April. It's going to be playing in a big tournament in New Jersey this year called the Thank You Classic. It's about 80 schools from Jersey that's playing. Just trying to get my kids some more exposure, trying to get them involved more, trying to make that name heard. And that, like I said, I know we talked about it during the season that my goal with this program is to make it known again. And so that, okay, when
it was known before?
Well, it's never really been known recently.
Okay.
And I want people to, like I said, I want people to say, okay, there is a program there. And if we have Camden on our schedule, it's not just, a walk-off win or, rollover. Yeah. So
they're so known. Their basketball thing is almost like a college basketball knownness for them. So it's tough. You're competing with that.
Oh, yeah.
I applaud you for it, but you're competing with that.
Football and basketball, but again, we're working on that. We're working on that, and
not so much football. Is football up there too, Coach?
Football big time. You know what might be bigger than all of them is their marching band.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Legit.
Wow. So wow. I may see them because Saturday they got the Battle of the Beach. Is everybody's first game down in, I think it's this is Ocean City or Wildwood. It's somewhere down there, man, because Pesgrove played too. But they're playing, Camden's playing somebody either before or after. So I'll check them out too. I didn't know their football program was big like that. I know Woodrow Wilson.
They've had a lot of success. They send a lot of kids to school.
Okay.
Yep. So, but what's it? No, that's the off-season goal, working. But making a name for it. So, with that said, before we sign off here today, I have to give a shout out to Roland from the Myrtle Beach Terminal B bar at the airport. Great guy. We were talking sports down there with him, and he had a great trivia question for our audience and for me. Now I'm going to, what state it has the most NFL players ever sent to the NFL?
I say Florida or
wait, let me clarify this question. Like like colleges that send kids or kids like that go to high school there?
Yeah, I'll clarify.
High school.
What state had that players are from, not their school? What state that players are from has sent the most to the NFL?
I'm gonna say Louisiana, Ohio, or Florida.
Incorrect.
Get out of here. Then
I would go California first.
Incorrect.
And then I would say Texas.
Incorrect.
All right. South Carolina.
Incorrect.
Oh. Wait, hold on. Let's think of Texas. I'm bugging.
No.
I said Texas.
Oh, you said Texas. Oh, New England.
No.
Boston. Massachusetts.
Hawaii.
Get out of here.
Hawaii has the most.
I don't believe that either.
Listen, I
you
have
looked
to
it up?
double check it, but this is what Roland.
Oh, you didn't double check this
Listen,
shit?
I'm telling you, there's some guys. He seemed very confident. He lived down in Hawaii for a while, and he told me this. That might be a little homegrown bias.
Ain't no homegrown bias. Hey, coach, what did he say? He said the airport bar. He was drinking.
I mean,
that's what was happening.
But I'm telling you,
Right.
shout out to Roland. Listen, Roland said he was gonna check us out today.
Okay.
So if he does, Roland verify that for us. But I said it was an interesting statistic.
Yo, shout out. What's his name? Roland?
Roland.
Shout out Roland for them drinks you were serving my man. Feeding him some Hawaii shit. I don't know. You was feeding them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
So
that's a great point. That's an interesting topic, though.
Oh, it is. It is.
To see if that's true. Hawaii. Damn.
We'll go back and do some double checking. But I knew I told him.
From what I'm looking at right now, Roland must have been drinking with you.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah?
Man. Think about it. Just think about it, though.
It's
not even close.
It's not even in the top 10.
Wow. Well, Roland.
Based on
who's the top? Who's the first one?
This is from 2020. Florida's one.
Thank you.
Texas, California, Georgia, Ohio, Alabama, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, North Carolina, and then New Jersey.
Thank you. Think about it like this, Randy. And that's why I said.
I know. What
was you drinking?
Just drinking some beer. When there was an IPA.
How many beers you had?
I only had one.
Okay.
How many did he have?
Right. How many he had? But think about this, because you was believing him. So, but think about this. Listen, the NFL. Just think about this, and I hate to go there with it, but just for demographic wise,
I agree.
The NFL is majority what?
African American.
And we the fuck ain't in Hawaii. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that there's not a contingent down there, but I'm just saying I don't see a lot of African Americans coming out of Hawaii.
Listen, I don't agree. I mean, I don't disagree.
Oh, okay.
So, Roland, if you are listening to the show today,
please respond back. Right.
Please respond back and let us know.
Or
let us know what you were drinking.
Right. Or figure out how you can tell us the cocktail, how to make it or whatever. Or send us some shit, please.
All right. Well, with that said, once again, for Coach Marcus Bullock, for Jason Bryce, we appreciate you guys checking in. Once again, Coach, condolences to the family.
Absolutely.
All goes well.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So hopefully we're able to distract for a little bit and have some good conversation. For Jason Bryce, for Marcus Bullock, I'm Randy Dutkin. Thanks for checking us out. Tune in next time and let's get it.
Well, you don't know who I am. I'll see you. I know exactly where you're at. That's why you don't have to wonder and try to find out who I am. You will see who I am. I will tell you who I am.